What's going on, guys? I wanted to just film a quick little video here. If you have a set of these billet aluminum Bogie wheels, these are a Yamaha. It's a genuine Yamaha part. And I just bought a set of them brand new. And I'm going to put them on my Viper. Let me show you what they look like here quick. Here's my Viper. Excuse the mess. Got a lot going on here, trying to get ready for a vintage snowmobile show. And there's the billet aluminum Bogie wheels. And you have to make a slight modification to the plastic bushing that's in the stock Bogie wheels in order to get these to fit. And I'm going to show you that. So these stock Yamaha Bogie wheels have these bushings in them. And in order to use the Yamaha billet aluminum ones, you need to take the bushings out of the stock Bogie wheels and put them in the billet ones. In order to get them out, just use a little screwdriver. They pop right out. That's what they look like. Same goes for the other side. And the side with the... Sorry, let me pop this out here. The side with the C-clip is the bigger side, the clip that you pop out in order to replace the bearing. That's the bigger one. The smaller one goes on the other side, obviously, like that. All right? So those go in and out like this. Okay? So now that I've showed you that, I've got two more here from another Bogie wheel, and we're going to put them in this one. The issue is, when you go to put them in this wheel, you can see that the plastic edge is making contact with the billet aluminum. And same for the other side too, right? You can see it's a little too big. Let me see. Well, you wouldn't be able to see it that way. It's a little too big. So when you put them on, what happens is you wouldn't be spinning on the bearing. You would just be spinning on the inside of the plastic, if that makes sense. Basically, you need to trim these bushings down so they don't look like this. They look like this. You can see that I can hold this one, the plastic stays still, and the wheel spins on the bearing. Whereas this one, you know, if I squeeze it, but you can hear it rubbing. And so we need to trim these spacers down like this one. Here's the difference on the other side. You'll see that this one's sticking out, and that one I trimmed down so it would sit inside flush, if you can see that there. So I'm going to show you an easy way to trim these down, just like that. They're super easy. And we're going to go ahead and move over to my drill press, and I'll show you how to trim those up. Before we actually do that, I'm going to show you how I kind of rig this up over here. My table's kind of a disaster here. What I have is a bolt with a washer. And basically, all I do is I drop the bushing on it, put another washer on the other side. And I found washers that are the same diameter as this inner piece here on the bushing. And that kind of helps me line it up. And then I'll put a nut on this side. Whoopsies. Where'd that nut go? And just like that. And then I will take it and line it up and kind of just squeeze around to make sure that washer is flush with the bushing. And then after I get that flush, I take a wrench on one side and a screwdriver on the other, and I really crank it down. You want to get it pretty much all the way tight till you can't anymore. You're not going to break the bushing unless yours are super brittle for some reason, but mine aren't. They don't tend to get that way. That's really cranked down. It's nice and flush. Now let's move over to the drill press. I'll show you what I use. All right, like I said, ignore the mess, please. Whole garage is always a mess. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Put this in your drill press. Oops. And then what I use is a file to get it, I'm gonna crank this down here, to kind of trim the bushing down. Here's the file I'm using. You can see it's an older file. It's a very low grit, and it goes this way. You're supposed to shave this way. And all I do is turn on the drill press, make sure it's not, spinning. You want to make sure it's spinning nicely. It's not wobbling around. And then I simply take the file, and you can see it trims it down nice. You could also do this on a lathe, but I don't have a lathe. And I kind of just work at it like this. And then I've done 3 or 4 of them now, so I kind of know where the bushing, how much I need to file off of the bushing. But if you want to test it, you can shut your drill press off. And this is the small one, so it goes on this side. And then kind of just hold it up. You can see I have quite a bit more to go. And this usually does it pretty quick. I can do maybe 20 or 30 of these on the file, and it's usually ready to go. And then it'll eventually kind of gum up like this, and then I kind of just flip over to this side. Although this side's a little harder because it's the rounded side of the file. So I'll kind of go back and forth. Test it again. You can see it's gotten a lot smaller, and we're almost there. A little more to go. I'm gonna clean out the file here really quick and then get back at it. And the way I do that is with my bench grinder and a wire wheel. We should be getting really close here. We're almost there. A couple more swipes of this and we'll be there. Pretty much there. Once I get close, I'll switch over to the finer side and then hit it with a little bit of sandpaper to smooth it out. You can see it's got a really rough surface right now, and then it's pretty much there. A little more. Hit it with the sandpaper. Get the bottom side, top side. Get a fresh piece here. And that should fit. Sometimes I get them really close and then I have to, look at that. Sometimes I get them close and then I got to put it back in. Take it off. I know some of these steps I probably don't really have to show on camera. But that's okay. Some people might want to see it. and others can skip. So here's the bushing. You can see it's not perfect. It's got, you know, like a little hump right here, but that's not going to matter once we get it in the wheel. And I kind of just look at it and spin it and make sure it's not going to hit the edges of the wheel. If it does, it's probably not the end of the world. It'll, you know, kind of wear in after a couple miles, I'm sure. And these ones you kind of have to like get way in there. And you can see I'm able to spin the wheel freely. Now I just have the other side to do, and the other side doesn't require nearly as much trimming. So I'll show you guys that one really quick. This one goes pretty quick. It's almost there already. One more. Use the fine side. Nice and smooth. That looks like it's going to fit. Both sides. This one turned out pretty nice. Kind of blow them off. And kind of look around the edge. Make sure it's not going to rub anywhere. You can see it's, you know, it's got a bigger gap there than up here. But it's not rubbing anywhere. Spins fine. I could put it on there and trim it up a little more if I wanted to, which I might do. Not sure yet. But yeah, that's basically how I'd recommend trimming the bushings. You could, there's a couple different ways, a couple different ideas you could always try as well, and that would be the lathe. You could try, what I originally tried was a piece of sandpaper, and I put this bolt in the end of a drill and then just spun it against the sandpaper with the bushing on, but that method honestly is going to take you forever. I would recommend just the drill press with the file, or either the lathe. And there might be some other ways you could do it too, but those are kind of what I was able to do with the tools that I had. And I hope that video kind of helps out. When I first got these wheels, I put those bushings in and I was like, wow, something's not right when it was not spinning, it was rubbing. So yeah, that's how you do that. And that's how I trimmed them up. Anyways, see ya.